Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Privrajacharya Stuttra Shatashi Shimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON BBT Founder Acharya Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Nitya Gaura Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru Granga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're reading today from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, the verse number 45. Prayantadhyatamanastu yogi samshudha kilbishaham aneka janma samsiddhas tato yati param gatim. Prayatnat, by rigid practice. Yatamanaha, endeavoring. To end. Yogi, such a transcendentalist. Samshuddha, washed off. Kilbishaha, all of whose sins. All of whose sins. Anekam, after many, many. Janma, birth. Samsiddha, having achieved perfection. Tataha. Thereafter. Yati. Attains. Param. The highest. Gatim. Destination. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. And when the yogi engages himself with sincere endeavor in making further progress, being washed of all contaminations, then ultimately achieving perfection after many, many births of practice, he attains the supreme goal. Purport. A person born in a particularly righteous, aristocratic, or sacred family becomes conscious of his favorable conditions for executing yoga practice. With determination, therefore, he begins his unfinished task, and thus he completely cleanses himself of all material contaminations. When he is finally freed from all contaminations, he attains a supreme perfection, Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is a perfect stage of being freed of all contaminations. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 7:28. Yasham tagatam papam jananam punya karmanam tidvandvamoha nirmukta bhajanti mam dritha vrataha. After many, many births of executing pious activities, when one is completely freed from all contaminations and from all illusory dualities, one becomes engaged in transcendental loving service of the Lord. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Desha Tarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripasindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So as we got to know we read here Bhagavad Gita and Nectar of Devotion as a morning class. And today's verse is actually very well fit into the topic which we will have all the day long. And particularly today, as you know, we will have a wonderful festival of Radha Yatra. And for the Pandits here, who knows what is happening before Radha Yatra? Snana Yatra. And just before Radha Yatra? Just before? After Snana Yatra? Just before Radha Yatra? Another festival? It's a very festive activity, yes. But before we start the party itself, there is a ceremony of inviting all the guests, the honor. Yes, but before. We prepare everything. We prepare everything. What particularly we prepare? The card. Something else? The deities, outfits, decorations. I have a Guru Maharaj who's telling me what I'm supposed to say. So she's going to say, since she seems to know better than me. Please do. After Snanayatra, the dentists, they were ill, so they were sick. They got sick, yes. They get renovated at the time. Get renovated. Mm-hmm. Renovation at the time, yes. Something else? in Chaitanya Charitamrita, something particular happens in Chaitanya Charitamrita where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself takes part. Yes, exactly. The cleaning of the temple of Gundicha, where Jagannath will be brought after Rath Yatra. And this Gundicha temple is representing a Vrindavan place where the gopis want to bring Krishna. And for us, it represents our heart, which needs to be freed of all the contaminations. That's how Krishna is doing. This way, it became transcendently beautiful. At times, when cleansing the temple, the Lord shed tears, and in some places, he even cleansed with those tears. Bhogamandira Shodhana Kare Shodhila Prangana Sakalava Sikrame Karila Shodhana. After this, the place where the deity's food was kept, Bhogamandira, was cleansed. Then the yard was cleansed, and then all the residential quarters, one after the other. Something which came to my mind to the previous verse, that the entire body of the Lord was covered. So when we're cleaning something, we get dirty sometimes. So when we start to clean our heart, some things may come up, and we may see some of our anarthas, unwanted qualities, and we might get afraid. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but no, we just need to try to get rid of these anarthas. They are shown by the Lord to us, um, whatever it may be. Maybe a lust, anger, greed, manifestation, pride, ego. We just need to see it as a object of to be clean, to be taken away from, not being attached to it or just neglected. We just need to try to get rid of it. But also, unless we see it, we cannot get rid of it. Exactly. We become conscious of it. Most of the time, we're not conscious of it. So by scrubbing, the dirt comes up, we see it, and we say, aha, here it is. I have to get rid of it. Get rid of it, and I would say actively work on it. Actively work on it. Otherwise, it doesn't go. Exactly. Thank you. Trinadhuli Jinkura Saba Ekatra Kariya Bahirvaselana Pelaya Bahira Kariya. After Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu collected all the straw, dust, and grains of sand in one place, he gathered it all in his clothes and threw it outside. Out with it. Eimata Bhakta Guna Karini Javase Trinadhuli Bahire Pelaya Paramaharishe. Following the example of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the devotees in great jubilation began to gather straw and dust with their own clothes and throw them outside of the temple. So cleansing of our heart, we should perform with great joy and happiness. It might be a little bit painful, but there is a very wonderful verse. I don't remember the Sanskrit and exact translation, but in this verse it is said that even if you consider yourself being fallen, you should still happily perform your service. Happily perform your service for Lord. So we should happily think, now I have chance to get rid of my false of my qualities which are hindering me to on the way of to the Lord. Not being morose because we have these qualities, but depressed or lament and make a sing out of it. And then at the end, Prabhupada said, "You're not the most fallen, don't worry. You're not the most anything, so just do your service." Yes, we should just be happy that we have this chance to get rid of this. Prabhu kaheke kata kariyach samarjana trina dhuli dekhile janiba parishramam. The Lord then told the devotees, I can tell how much you have labored and how well you have cleansed the temple simply by seeing all the straw and dust you have collected outside. It's a transcendental competition. Sometimes we do this transcendental competition on book distribution. This is what Srila Prabhupada encouraged very much, that we try to do more for the pleasure of our Guru and for the pleasure of the Lord. Not just more, but more than your best friend, or more than your best others. Exactly, more than others. More than the others. Without being envy, but just trying to satisfy the Lord and trying it's to. It's just like kids. Who jumps further? I jump so far, but I can do more. Mm-hmm. In the same spirit. In the same spirit. Sabarajantana bodha ekatra karila sabahite prabhura bodha adhika haila. Even though all the devotees collected dirt in one pile, the dirt collected by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was much greater. So we are doing our job by chanting the holy name and trying our best to get rid. But the main job is done by Krishna, and this we need to also understand that the main cleaner of our heart is the holy name and Lord Krishna Himself. So we need to be also patient in this in this process, and be trust the Lord that He will help us in this way. Emata abhyantar karila marjana punasavakari dila karyavantanam. After the inside of the temple was cleansed, Lord again allotted areas for the devotees to cleanse. Sukshma dhulitrina kankarasava karahara dura bhalamate Shadhana Karaha Prabhura Antapuram. The Lord then ordered everyone to cleanse the inside of the temple very perfectly by taking finer dust, straw, and grains of sand and throwing them outside. So the gross straw and dirt may be compared to an etiquette, as Mother Dina Sharana was teaching us. Now, by following the etiquette, we take the most of the gross dirt from the most of the whatever is visible, and by deepening our practice, we work on the fine qualities in our heart, on the fine tuning of the heart. Actually, the etiquette is quite subtle. Yes. Actually, it is, like you say, it takes away a lot of gross things. But if you want to go deeper, it is quite subtle. Yeah. And then this etiquette is actually guiding your actions and your thinking, your talking, and your acting. How you think, how you talk, and how you act. And that's quite subtle. Thank you. So what would be the gross? Excuse me? What would be the gross? The gross is, for example, like Prabhupada said,
take a shower every day, you wash your hands after eating, what these
Yes.
quite external things.
Mhm.
To
So there is
come,
a subtle etiquette and gross etiquette.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
And everything has a gross part and a subtle part.
Mhm.
Actually, everything has these two,
Mhm.
which is materially sichtbar, visible,
Visible.
and those things were more hidden, less visible, but they are also there, and they are actually influencing our gross handling. So they are quite important.
Thank you.
Thank you for making the point of subtle.
Well, it's in the verse. Sabavaishnavalanaya Vedui Varashodhila Dekhimaha Prabhuramane Santoshaha. After Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all the Vaishnavas cleansed the temple for the second time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy to see the cleansing work. Arashatajana Shataghate Jalabhari Prathame Lana Ache Kala Pekshakari. While the temple was being swept, about 100 men stood readily to with filled water pots, and they simply awaited the Lord's order to throw the water from them. Jala Baliyab Mahaprabhu Kahila Taveshatagata Ani Prabhu Agajila. As soon as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called for water, all the men immediately brought 100 pots which were completely filled and delivered them before the Lord. Prathame Kalila Prabhu Mandira Prakshalana Urdhva Adho Bhitti Griha Madhya Simhasanam. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first washed the main temple and then thoroughly washed the ceiling, the walls, the floors, the sitting place, Simhasana, and everything else within the room. Kaparabari Ajala Urdhve Chalaila Sejala Urdhva Shodhi Bhiti Prakshalila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself and his devotees began to throw water onto the ceiling. Then, with what this water fell, it washed the walls and floor. Throw the water on the ceiling. Shri Hastikarana Simhasane Ramarjana Prabhu Age Jala Ani Deya Bhaktaganam. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to wash the sitting place of Lord Jagannath with his own hands, and all the devotees began to bring water to the Lord. Bhaktagane Kari Griha Madhya Prakshalana Nija Nija Hastekare Mandira Marjana. All the devotees within the temple began to wash. Each one had a broom in his hand, and in this way they cleansed the temple of the Lord. Kehajala Anideya Mahaprabhurakare Kehade Jaladeya Tanracharana Upare. Someone brought water to put into the hands of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and someone poured water on his lotus feet. So there were some smart devotees who would wash the Lord's hands and feet, and then they would then they would get Charnamrita. But Kehalu Kanakare Sejalapana Kehama Gilaya Keha Anye Karedanam. The water that fell from the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was drunk by someone who did himself, who hid himself. Someone else begged for that water, and another person was giving the water in charity. So someone hid himself, took the water, hid himself, and drank. Someone came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and begged, and someone would just took and give it in charity to others. Gharadhui pranalikaya jala chadidilam sejale pranganasabam bharya rahilam. After the room was washed, the water was let out through an outlet, and it then flowed and filled the yard outside. Nilavastrikaila Prabhu Grihasamarjana Mahaprabhu Nijavastre Majila Simhasana. The Lord mopped the room with his own clothes, and he polished the throne with them also. Shataghata Jalahaila Mandira Marjana Mandira Shodhiya Kaila Yena Nijamana. In this way, all the rooms were cleansed with 100 water pots. After the rooms had been cleansed, the minds of the devotees were all as clean as the room. So this is a very wonderful effect of cleaning the temple of the Lord, that our mind will also get clean. Have you felt it?
Of course.
It's a very wonderful effect. You don't have it while cleaning your own room, unless it's that you made your own room to the temple of, of Jagannath.
No, I can tell you, you just talk get Krishna Kirti to come and to bring the Gilan. You know the Gilan? Gilan.
Gilan? Yes.
You know how it looks after puja?
Yeah.
So to clean the Gilan, that it's white. Prabhupada said it has to be white.
White.
When it's white, you know, brass is yellowish.
Yellow,
It
yes.
has to be white. So you know how much cleaning you have to do to get it white.
Yeah, yeah.
Said, and when the Gilan is white, you can be sure your heart is also white.
Nice. So we continue? Or we wait for Krishna Kirti? Okay, we continue. Nirmala Shitala Snigdha Kalila Mandire Apana Hridaya Yena Dharila Bahire.
That's how it looks now. That's how we are looking now. This is how you look.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. But when it's clean, then you have to bring it when it's clean.
When the temple was cleansed, it was purified, cool, and pleasing, just as if the Lord's own pure mind had appeared. Shata Shata Jana Jala Bhare Saravare Ghata Sthana Nahi Keha Kupa Jala Bhare. Since hundreds of men were engaged in bringing water from the lake, there was no place to stand on the banks. Consequently, someone began to draw water from a well. Punakumbhalana Aise Shata Bhaktagana Shunyaghatalana Yaya Aras Shatajanam. Hundreds of devotees brought water in the pots, and hundreds took the empty pots away to fill them up again. Nityananda Advaita Swarupa Bharati Puri Inha Vishnu Ara Sava Anjalabhari. With the exception of Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, Swarupa Damodara, Brahmananda Bharati, and Paramananda Puri, everyone was engaged in filling the water pots and bringing them there. I guess those are the devotees who would clean. Ghate ghate teki kata ghata bhangi gela shata shata ghata lokatahan lana aila. Many of the water pots were broken when people collided with one another, and hundreds of men had to bring in new water pots to fill. Jala bhare ghara dhoya kare hari dhvani Krishna Hari dhvani vina aranahi shuni. Some people were filling pots, and the others were washing the rooms, but everyone was engaging in chanting the holy name of Krishna and Hari. Krishna Krishna kahikare ghatera pratana. Krishna Krishna kahikara ghata samarpana. One person begged for water pot by chanting the holy name Krishna Krishna, and another delivered the water pot while chanting Krishna Krishna. This is um, Hare Krishna Mauna. We don't talk Prajalpa, we talk just the holy names or something regarding the service of Krishna.
Krishnaizing everything.
Krishnaizing everything. Thank you. Ye ye kahe se kahe Krishna name, Krishna nama haila sanketa shabakame. Whenever anyone had to speak, he did so by uttering the holy name of Krishna. Consequently, the holy name of Krishna became an indication for everyone who wanted something. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Haribol, Hare Krishna. Premavesh Prabhu Kahe Krishna Krishna Nama Ekale Premavesh Kare Shatajanera Kamam. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was vibrating the holy name of Krishna in ecstatic love, he himself was performing the work of hundreds of men. Shatahaste Karena Yena Kshalana Marjanam Pratijana Pashayai Karana Shikshanam. It appeared as though Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were cleansing and washing with 100 hands. He approached every devotee just to teach him how to work. Bhala karma dekhitare kare prasamshana manenamilile kare pavitram bhartsanam. When he saw someone doing nicely, the Lord praised him. But if he saw that someone was not working to his satisfaction, he immediately chastised that person, not bearing him any grudge. Not bearing him any grudge. Tumi bhala karyacha shikhaha anyere Eimata bhala karma sehoyena kare. The Lord would say, "You have done well. Please teach this to others, so they may act in the same way." And I guess it was said ironically. Ekatchashunya sabe shankuchitan hanam bhalamate karmakare sabamanadiya. As soon as they heard Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say this, everyone became ashamed. Thus the devotees began to work with great attention. So another thing which is coming to my mind is that within this process of cleansing our heart, we need a good guidance. We need someone who can tell us what we do wrong and what, because sometimes we don't have the eyes to see and we're just caught up within our own mind and our own ego. and we're just not even able to see what we do wrong. So therefore, we have mentors, we have gurus, we have senior devotees who would come and tell, you do well, teach it others. they do they do it in a nice way, trying not to hurt the devotees, wishing to help them to progress further. And we should be also acting in as the devotees are acting here, being ashamed, trying to do with more attention, trying to work better.
This means actually, I don't know if this is working. Yeah. But Prabhupada said
It doesn't seem to work.
Prabhupada said,
No,
that it's not. I don't know why. Oh, okay. Prabhupada says that it is very important to have an attitude of acceptance. He says this is the ABC of progressing in Krishna consciousness, to have an attitude of acceptance. This means first we have to accept. Then we can think about it, ask questions, and argue or what. But even argue, Prabhupada is not really, he said, then ask questions. First, not ask question, argue. No. First, accept. Then you can ask questions. But nowadays, in the modern world, what we are being taught to be the criteria of intelligence is argumentation. This is the criteria of just the opposite. Yeah, the more you argue, the more you put your idea in front, the more you defeat others and you are. But Prabhupada says no. First, accept what is being said, think about what is just being said, and then ask questions.
Thank you
It's
for
very important because if you observe, everybody is always explaining to you why it is that they're doing what they're doing. But the person who is teaching you knows already, otherwise he wouldn't be the teacher. Because he knows already why you're doing what you're doing. He doesn't need to be explained why you're doing what you're doing. He knows it. That's why he decided to be a teacher and gives you something to do. So now for us is to learn an attitude of acceptance. And by this, the ego is being trained to stay in its place. And then we learn. And then we can, of course, we're not stupid. We can ask questions and inquire and like this. But first we have to learn acceptance.
Thank you for bringing this point. It's actually a little bit more elaborate. The strength of intelligence is measured in the way you are able to control your mind and ego, to hold it in the hands and not break up in arguments and just explanations or whatever. So exactly. So the more strong your intelligence is, the more you're able to hold yourself and be humble and be tolerant. And the less the strength of intelligence is, the more one wants to immediately say something against and put the. So I guess that nowadays the modern society, people, they mistake the strength of intelligence with the strength of the mind. But the mind is anyway strong in everyone's case. Stronger than the wind. So for those who want to be successful in their life, and especially in spiritual life, it's very important to cultivate the intelligence.
But the reason this is happening is because we are identifying with the body and the functions of the body. And this is why we think, it says, I think, therefore I am. Who said it?
Descartes.
Who said
Descartes.
Huh? That's but that's not true. It is a wrong thing because our thoughts and all of these things, these are impulses that are coming and they're forcing us to. I need to say something. Huh? It's hard to control, and actually, it's being used. It's just like Pampers. You know what Pampers are?
Yes.
So babies, children, they have no control.
Mm.
The Prabhupada brings the example. He said, the adults, they have no control. Same, same. And we have to learn to control.
Mm.
And then when we control, say the right thing, think about it. Also, as saying, you have to turn your tongue 7 times in your mouth before you speak, because then you have the time to think, is it worth it? What I'm going to say? Is it important? Is it worth it? How am I going to say it? So it brings the meaning of what I. And this is what we're doing in spiritual life. We're refraining from certain foods to control our senses. We're refraining from certain habits to control our senses. Everything we're doing, the four regulative principles are there to learn to control
Tongue.
the tongue.
Vacho vega manasa krodha vega. Vishva vega udara pastha vegam. So one needs to learn to control the speech, the mind urges, the vacho, manasa, anger, and then the belly and genitals. That's the first thing first thing we're learning in spiritual life. Yes, one line. Yeah. So if we and it starts with vacha, starts with vacha, with speaking. Srila Prabhupada very often says that ask. There was one um, case where he asked where this skyscraper, where did it start? And there were many arguments. He was with finding money, making a project, this that foundation. Yeah, and Srila Prabhupada said, no, someone just started to speak. How it would be interesting how it would be to build a 100-story building.
Just a very much simple example also. How did we get to sit on a chair? How do we get to sit on a chair?
Mm-hmm.
Huh? How do we get to sit on a chair? Because somebody wasn't happy with just sitting on the floor and just invented this thing here. That's all it is. It starts in the mind. Somebody is imagining something and realizing it and materializing it. And here we are, all sitting on a chair.
Yes. Yes, so we have to learn to control the urges in order to be able to get help. Because devotees around us, they want to help us. And even if they don't want to help us, in a sense, if we are surrounded by the young devotees who want to argue with us, still they are able to help us by pointing out by their criticism on our on things we might be needing to cleanse to get rid of. So even then we might better listen and say thank you and try to work on ourselves. I think there in the life of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, there was one man who was always coming to his lectures, and after the lecture he would always criticize, this was not right and that no. And at some point, he just stopped coming. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati asked, where is this man actually? Oh, he passed away, he left his body. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, I think he even started to cry. He said, my best well-wisher has left. He was always telling me how I can improve. This is a great example of humility. Not everyone is able to do like this, but just to tolerate at least to tolerate and be able to see something what we can learn from it.
Yeah, this tolerance, this ability to be able to tolerate, this is another way of acceptance.
Yes. I think we will stop here because it's already 9 o'clock. If there is maybe some short comment or question, can be done short for 2 minutes we have.
Thank you very much
Thank you.
Guiding us through this Gundicha Marjanam. We always have Gundicha Marjanam, always, and we advertise to the devotees. I had my Gundicha Marjanam yesterday, packing all the Ratayata boxes because they're sitting there for years and just everything's being thrown in. And this is actually another thing that this movement is a split and spagat, a split between a very high philosophical aims, very high philosophy, and very high spiritual goals, real spiritual goals, and the daily nitty-gritty of details every day to clean. For example, I gave him yesterday a broom, and happens to be, I gave him a broom to clean here. And then he asked me, shall I go in the corners also? That was he asked. So I said, no, it's okay, because we just recently, when was it, on Sunday or Saturday, last Sunday, 1 week ago, we moved everything here and we cleaned everything behind. So it was just enough to clean the middle. But this is what we do. We need some Marjam to fix everything, to repair everything, to think. Unfortunately, we're not able to do what we would like to do because we don't have so much help, especially not this year because vacation have been moved up, so everybody is in vacation right now. But Gundicha Marjanam, this is a must, absolute must, and it's really cleansing the heart, indeed. So what I'm trying to say with this, many devotees think there is a difference in the different services that are being done, that somebody who has to scrape the plates or clean the toilets or the staircase, but these are all opportunities for cleansing the heart and for becoming humble, and actually for making the point that you just gave us so wonderfully today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So, dear devotees, come. There is advertising. Whenever there is an advertisement that here is Maha cleaning, come and help with cleaning the temple and get the experience of your mind and heart being cleansed. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Aditya Baladev Prabhu ki
Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Gundicha Marjana ki jai, and Shri Rath Yatra Festival ki jai.
Hare Krishna.